everybody, Steph here, and today I am bringing you my top Essen picks. Well, okay, all of the games on the Essen Spiel list on BGG that I have played or that I have access to and will be playing really, really soon and that I'm excited about. And so I'm going to run through, hopefully quickly, but it's 100 games, so we'll see. All the games and tell you my thoughts because I've had that early access to be able to play so many different games. I have them listed on BGG in order of the hotness based on how many thumbs that are liked on this preview list. So we're going to start with the games that everybody that have voted basically on the most anticipated games coming out. So we'll talk about all the games that people are very excited about first. So let's take a look. I have a link to BGG so we can take a look at it together. And yay, here we are. A lot of people. So if you go into the Spiel preview list, you can sort things by publisher, by title, by thumbs, by location by price, by everything, and you can have all sorts of different filters. So I went through on the Spiel list. There's about 1,100 titles, and I marked them all either as not interested, undecided, interested, or must have. And if I've marked it undecided, it means that I've had prior access to this game and I've played it or something. I have something to say about it. So, and if I have it as must have or interested in, that's the list that I'm going to talk about coming up soon. So with that, thanks everybody in the chat for being here. Let me know what you think of these games as well if you're watching out there on my channel here. Hey, Board Game Gumbo, how's it going, BJ? All right, so starting off, going on, this is the hottest game right now on the list is Lacrimosa. Right here. It is sitting on my unplayed shelf. We just got the game and we went through the rules, so I'm very excited to play it hopefully really soon, and then Michael and I can stream it either Wednesday or Sunday. We went through the rules. It seems like a really cool game. There has like some deck building going on, and you'll be moving around you're managing your cards. It's a hand management system. And the best way I can think about it's like use cards. So you're either going to use the top half or the bottom half of your card each round, and you have to pair them up appropriately. And so you're if you're going to get a new card, you're going to have to replace one of your cards in your deck. So there's only 9 cards or something. So as you play through the game, you're going to hopefully upgrade your cards to get better abilities and everything. And so it's all about managing these different actions that you're taking. And it definitely seems awesome. The theme is really cool. The whole game is just simply beautiful. So it was really great setting it up. We set it up and then we're like, oh, we don't have time to play it. So I was like, oh no, but I'm really looking forward to trying this out. Obviously it's a well-deserved spot at the top. It seems really cool. And so I know that a lot of people will want to be learning about this game. It's a cool theme indeed. Yes, Mozart is his final Requiem piece. So I don't know how that incorporates into the actual gameplay. Really, I'm not great with theme, but it's a beautiful game, and I like that there's more music games out there. I do wish that was a theme that was more that showed up more in games. Yeah. So the second one on the list is the Red Cathedral Contractors. If you're interested in this, we actually did a full playthrough on the stream earlier this year, maybe a month or 2 ago. It was over the summer. It was after Gen Con. It was after Dice Tower, so it was probably in July. But I really love Red Cathedral. If you love Red Cathedral, or if you haven't played Red Cathedral, now's a great time to do it. And include contracts, because it doesn't add a whole lot of complex to the game. It just adds more variety. So there's a whole new like section that you're going to be working on, but it doesn't add a whole lot of complexity. So it's really great. And for those fans of the game already, it gives you so much more content to work with. It's a great expansion. Highly recommended. I've had the privilege of playing Terracotta Army several times now, and it's a really great worker placement game. There's like these wheels that you can rotate to get the actions you're looking to do, but you have to pay money. So if you don't have money, you're just stuck with whatever is available. And then you're trying to like build these statues for the museum. And so it's like you're working out this puzzle on how to best place these statues. There's a lot of puzzly things going on here. And it's actually not quite a hard game to get into, but it's not the normal level of difficulty for a T game, but there's still a lot going on, but it's really elegant. It's really cool. It's one of the better T games, in my opinion. I really like it. It's hard. It's hard because coming right up next is Teletum. So we got the Terracotta Army and we got Teletum. For whatever reason, people are more excited for Terracotta Army. But I can tell you right off the bat, everybody needs to be the most excited about Teletum because it's amazing. If it's not my game of the year, I don't know what will be my game of the year because Teletum is just amazing. It is like so good. It is so good. You got here just in time, Bree. Yes, you did. All the games blurred together. So Teletum is, yes, it is a chef's kiss of a game. It is easily a 9 out of 10 for me. It is everything I want in a game. It's easy to play. There's a lot of different actions, but they're all very understandable. You can everything is simple. It's about figuring out the puzzle in the game and all the combos you can create and how to score the most points. I mean, there's many ways to score points. There's many different strategies, but every game will be completely different because of the goals that are out and because of the way the tiles come out at the beginning of the game and about how this rondelle of the action placement works because you're going to get fewer actions if it's now or more actions if you do it like later in the game because of the way that the board the dice thing works. So it's like, I don't know, there's just so much to think about and how you have to react to what other people are doing because if they're taking what you want, then you're like, well, now what do I do? And so this game, I can't like give enough high praise for Teletum because it is just my jam. This is totally right up my alley. It is awesome. Everybody need this. Honestly, this should be number one. This should be number one. Not enough people have given it thumbs up, but it deserves it. So Michael says Teletum is a solid 9 for me. I only have 2 10s. So that's saying a lot. So yeah, it's great. It is super awesome. Check it out. Then we have Flamecraft. We'll give that a nice thumbs up there. We played this on stream just like the other day, and Lucky Duck hitting it out of the park with tons of new games. And this is so adorable. I love all these dragons. I love that the dragons are like adorable. Dragons in general are just a cool theme. So this is a like resource management game where you're going to different shops and collecting resources and you're using those resources to complete enchantments. So yeah, it's a really great like casual game. It's fun for families and it's just I know it will hit the sweet spot for a lot of gamers. I think that is a really nice game. I would happily play this one again. And yeah, I think it's super cute. So I think a lot of people will love it. I did see it get played a few times at the convention we went to just the other day. So people are already starting to get their Kickstarters and really enjoying it already. So I'm sure you'll be seeing it around. Here we have Home Sweet Home or Not. This is a cooperative game where you are basically pick up and deliver. You're trying to clean up the house by picking things up in a room and moving them to the other room before guests arrive and they get bored with you and they're just like, why are you still cleaning the house? Oh my God. But there's different scenarios in the box. So you can play it like different levels, and I'm guessing it will get harder and harder as you go through the different scenarios. So I've only played the first one so far. It is a game that is on the to be streamed shelf. So hopefully we'll get that on stream sometime in the near future. Michael is surprised it is so high on the list with 281 likes. Yep. Then we have Evergreen. Evergreen is actually available to play on Board Game Arena. So I got to try that on Board Game Arena. And it is, if you've played Photosynthesis, then this is like the next game, I guess. Like it's very, very similar to Photosynthesis. Dan actually told me he liked it more than Photosynthesis, but I think I would need to play it again. For me, it didn't quite hit the spot that Photosynthesis did, but there's like a drafting mechanic in this. So I do like the drafting mechanic, which is nice. But it's definitely one that I want to play again. And if you're on Board Game Arena, you can give it a go. It might be in alpha mode still. It might not be. I'm not sure. I haven't checked it out in a while. So, yeah. The Foob just subscribed. Yes. Thanks for that subscription. 17 months. Oh my goodness. Why didn't it make any sound? Well, that was sad. I guess I'll have to figure that one out in a minute. Okay. Ding. Fries are done. How's that for sound? That was a good sound. Okay, so now we're at Discordia. I played this. I guess it showed up on TTS, and I got to try it out with Dan and Shrey. We liked it. I liked it. It's a weird dice action game there's a lot of things going on. You're trying to get rid of your workers. So you have like a boatload of people and you're just trying to get rid of them, either putting them to work or doing other things. And so it has a thing I don't like in games where you're trying to race to finish. So yeah, you're racing to finish. I don't love that. I do like basically everything else going on in the game, trying to manage and trying to get different goals and everything. So I do like that. I didn't like the end game as much, but it is interesting and it is one that I would want to play again. So I didn't even know what the cover looked like. So that, I just like, oh, I did play that. How about that? Acropolis. I played this back in April. Love it. I love this game. I think it's super great. We're going to give that a thumbs up. Maybe people will see it better. I don't know. But it is a great game. Very simple. We played it on stream. It is tile placement. You're building up your city to score points. And it goes very quickly. It is puzzly. It is everything I like. So, definitely worth checking out. Skymines, obviously the remake of Mombasa. The base game of Skymines is Mombasa. They didn't change anything. The locations are the same. They changed very minor things that you can't really tell if you've played Mombasa. I mean, if you haven't played Mombasa, you wouldn't know. But like If you have played Mombasa, you really can't tell. There is a backside to the board with a totally different like structure of what's happening. So I haven't actually played that part of it yet, but I'm desperate to. I really want to. Again, this is a game. Mombasa is a game that really benefits from having 4 players. So, not all games are much better at the full 4-player count, but this one really, really is. And I won't play Mombasa without 4 players. So this is likely going to be the same way, same thing. But I really love Mombasa. It's been a favorite of mine since it came out. Like, it's a really great game. So Skymines, definitely worth checking out, especially if you don't have Mombasa. Yes. Michael says, really enjoyed Skymines. I had not played Mombasa in the past. Mombasa, yeah. I put in my comments here, I put Mombasa. That's funny. But yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I guess Palaces of Carrara is getting a reprint. I've always enjoyed this game. I remember paying crazy import prices in order to add it to my collection when I first learned it. So I guess that's really good. I mean, I'm happy that it can get a reprint and more people can learn about it. Now, it is on like so many different platforms. It's on like Board Game Arena. I think it's on yukata.de. So you can easily play this online. It's a tough game. It's a tough game, but lots of fun. Really, it's a really neat game. I've always enjoyed that. Findorf is a game that actually learned in prototype form with Friedman Fries was on a little tablet watching our playthrough as we played. And so it was tough because we were playing with Joe Huber, and Joe Huber had played many times, and he was, trying to break the game. Because when you play a prototype, you're trying to break a game to help the design aspect, the design come along together and see what happens in a playthrough. Because that's how you do a balancing act. So we got a good feeling for the game of how it's supposed to be played and what's happening in the game. For me, I'm not like it. Again, this is more of an issue for me that I had with the end game than the actual in-game play, which I thought was pretty interesting. And I think that this will be well received by a lot of like 2F Spiel fans. So I like the game. I just don't like the abrupt ending where you just kind of ends. So it's one that I obviously want to play again because I did play it in prototype form, and I want to see how it's progressed since that play. So, the 2F Spiel guys, they always make interesting games, at least to try. They might not always be my favorite, but I enjoy trying them to see how it goes. Michael says did not enjoy the rush to the end as well. So, yeah, I mean, so that was in our playthrough. So we'll see. We have Tidal Blades Banner Festival. We actually just played that on stream the other day. Works great as a 4-player game. We played it with 4 players. We also played with 2 players, and we really like that too. There's an interesting mechanic for when you play with 2 players where you're revealing cards, and so it's an AI, but it works pretty well. With 4 players, you all just hidden information, but so this is a card game, a card management game where you're trying to win or lose a trick. But if you're in the middle, you also get middle rewards, so there's something to be gained even with being in the middle of what's happening. So if you win, you get to move your boat. If you lose, you get the power of the card you played. So all these cards have different powers. And if you can lose with a really high valued card, the better the reward. So you're trying to like take a bet on like what you think other people are going to do and where you think you can fall in the line. So it is not, I'd want to emphasize, this is not a Tidal Blades expansion, but it is a standalone expansion that is set in the Tidal Blades universe. So you don't have to like Tidal Blades. You don't even have to know anything about the original Tidal Blades game. So you could just play this game. It's 30 to 45-minute game. So it's a quick card game. So I definitely recommend checking that out. Bonzinator, hello. Demoed this one at Gen Con with Board Game Brie. It's a cool game. I agree. It is a cool game, and Board Game Brie is a cool person. So you had a great time, because I know Brie is a great time to hang out with. I know things. And Brie says, so glad you liked it, Bonds. Yay. That's awesome. We love Brie. Yes. We love Lucky Duck. Yes. Here we go. The Hamburg. This is so Queen Games picked up a lot of Feld titles, and they're reprinting all of these titles with new names and new art, new everything. I think there's updates to the rules and everything. So this Hamburg game is the new Bruges. So if you like Bruges, or you haven't been able to get a copy of Bruges, this would be your excellent chance in order to get a copy of Bruges. It didn't change my opinion of Bruges. So I think they work both basically the same. So if you're looking for a copy of Bruges, Hamburg is your best bet at this point, because Bruges is long out of print. Michael, I hear noise from behind me. So what is wrong?
It's not Michael.
What?
It's me.
All right. Senor Azul wanted to say hi.
Hi, everybody. This bone. No, that's my hand. No. Hey, what's up?
I'm in the middle of something. You need to go away.
Whoa.
You're in the way.
Oh, okay. Just want to say hi to Bree and the Foob and everybody else. Hi, everybody.
All right. Come back later.
Okay.
Hi, Azul, monkey face. Bonzinator says, Bruges is in my top 9. I'm very excited about Hamburg. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. They add a lot of different modules, too, with Hamburg. So if you like a lot of, differences, if you want some little mini expansions, because Queen Games is known for, always doing a lot of mini expansions in their games and stuff. So you can add diversity to your gameplay by including these different expansions. Here we have Merchants of the Dark Road. This I got to play earlier this year, and it's a really cool game. I do think it screams Kickstarter because of all of the deluxe everything that goes along with it. But as far as the gameplay goes, it's fairly solid, and there's a lot of choices to be made with very little actions to make them. So you're trying to do everything, and you can't because you just don't have enough time. And it's all about the dice that you roll and the actions you can take. So I think that the game is pretty cool and worth checking out. I thought it for me, it might be more trouble than it's worth to try and get back into a second play. Cause I remember a lot of what's happening in the game, but I'm to get to the point of setup and figuring out what we actually are doing, it's not sticking with me. I like most games. So there's perhaps a little bit too much going on, but it's not that hard. So it's okay, it shouldn't be like that. So that's why I think I rated it a 7 out of 10, which is on the line of whether or not it should be kept or sold. But I never had the copy. So it's do I want to go out of my way to get a copy? or should I just play it whenever I get a chance in the future? But then again, it's like, okay, so that's one of those games that's like, but it is beautiful. It is a beautiful game, and I would definitely play it again. Here we have Galaxy Trucker Keep on Trucking. Now I have it over here, and we love Galaxy Trucker in this house. So more expansions for it is always welcomed, and I think it will incorporate a lot of the other. I think it will incorporate a lot of the other, like, other expansions from the regular Galaxy Trucker, because this is the new expansion for the new edition of Galaxy Trucker. So I'm guessing it's going to be a lot of the same content that we might have seen in other expansions, but I haven't actually looked into it much yet. But hopefully we'll get that played soon and on stream, so we can share what's in store for that expansion coming up. Here we have a new Queen Games Steffenfeld title. This is a totally new one called Marrakech. And this is such a cool game. I played it on TTS, so I didn't get the full experience of the cube tower that's involved here. I love that they're still trying to like create games with cube towers, and it just makes me really happy. So it like every round you're gonna like drop cubes, and then you're gonna draft these cubes that are coming out. So you're drafting these cubes are gonna give you actions that you're gonna be doing, and you're trying to do. I think there's like 7 or 9 different little areas on your board that you're trying to like manipulate and do all these things with the different colors. Obviously, it's a very colorful game because you have all these different colored cubes and different colors that you're working with for different possible actions. It just screams Steph like all over it. And it's a Steffenfeld game. So obviously it's a point salad game. You're going to get points from all sorts of different ways. It is really cool. So I'm very excited to see that in the final like hard copy on my table version of the game. Definitely one that I want to play again soon. Dan says Marrakesh was pretty good. I liked it more than the average Feld. Hey, that's saying a lot. More than the average Feld from Dan. That's a thumbs up, everybody. I liked it. I want to play it again. Here we have Pasoa. Pasoa definitely needs to be higher on the list. I really like this game. It is elegant. There's a lot of hidden depth in this game. Everything is very simple, but it's about how you use the information that you know and what's coming up. So planning. I always love planning in games. So this is a great way to plan. This is a great game to plan in. Yeah, it's excellent. I would hope that this gets a print in English so everybody has a chance to try it. It's a unique theme. I didn't know anything about Pasoa at all, but this is a thematic game about his life and his writings, because you're playing these different roles that he created. And yeah, it is really an interesting game and highly thematic. So I think it works really well. Yeah, I think this is one of those that I think will be a hidden gem that maybe people will never have heard about, but you know, I'll do what I can to keep mentioning it whenever possible. It is one that I would like to play again, like really soon. It's right over there. I love it. It's not leaving my collection, so it's a great game. Perfect timing. Need to relax and learn about some new hotness. Spent all day putting up my storm shutters. Oh man. Well, welcome in, Mortex. Stroganoff is next on the list. I really, really liked Stroganoff. I've played it a few times now, and it. I say this every time I talk about the game, but the cover is terrible. The cover makes me think of like a war game. It actually reminds me of Scythe quite a bit. It looks like a Scythe cover. It looks like totally right from the same like art design completely. And then you open up the box and it's like all these different like colors and it's like, whoa, this game is beautiful. I didn't even know how beautiful it was until I put it on the table and I was like, whoa. But it's a really interesting Euro game where you are moving along this timeline, this chart, and you go and do your exploration, and then each year you're gonna go in, or each season I think it is, you're gonna go as far into the exploration as you can. You'll reset at the new season, and so you're doing all these different things, and you're activating the regions that you're in. It's a very Euro-y game. There's no combat. There's nothing. I mean, you're hunting, but you're not like this cover suggests like it looks like a war type thing. But I guess there is an animal on the cover, so maybe they are hunting. And I would not have known that. I would not have picked that up off the cover though. But there is a lot of cool things going on in this game, and I really enjoyed it. So I was happy to play it the few times I've played it. It's a definite must have in the collection, in my opinion. I think it's a great game. So not moving along the timeline, moving through regions. My apologies. Makes you hungry, Bree. Man, I mean, that's just something that just got said over and over and over. I guess that's a joke that will never get old. It's just going to have to happen where, everybody's going to say beef stroganoff every time that they see the title of the game. I think that's just like a thing. I guess that's what you're asking for. Dan says, in fairness, the game involves killing a lot of people just abstractly. I definitely liked it better than any other setting I've played. Yes, but it's not like I'm going to fight you and you die dudes on a map game, which is what it looks like, is what I was implying. Even if there's killing and stuff in the game, that's not how I view the game at all. I view it way more. You are technically interacting with people by taking their tiles and taking their spaces and doing things before them and stuff like that, but it is management on your turn as what you can do that will help you best, and nobody can directly affect your stuff so far as I can remember. I mean, there might be something, but it's not like it's not a direct take that game, which I really appreciate and I like. So not dudes on a map at all. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, if you hear Stroganoff, you assume it's going to be about food. I get it. Here we have Foundations of Rome. I played it a few times. This is a game that's really cool. I enjoyed my first play. I've enjoyed my second play. The game is fairly simple, and you are building buildings. I think I won both of the games by doing the same thing. So I'm wondering if it's a strong strategy, or if there are other ways. I don't foresee doing a different strategy just because I like the strategy that I play, and I always will kind of move towards that direction because I like playing that way. In games in general, just always like going for the victory points versus the other ways to possibly score points. I just go for the buildings that will give you straight up points because I like that. But the game is just huge. And to me, if the game is going to be that huge, it's going to be off-putting. Like, I'm not going to bring it anywhere. I don't even want to own something that big. I wish there was a smaller game that was doing similar things. Even if it still used miniatures, like maybe like a quarter of the size or something. I would be fine with. I don't know. I get that people love to pimp out their games and everything, but I just don't really want to spend all the monies. But yeah. So yeah. But I really like the game. I'd be happy to play it at conventions. It's a great convention game because you can take it out of the library and play it and then put it back, and then you could have it, every once a year whenever you go to that convention or whatever. So it is that kind of game that is also a good convention game because it's easy to teach and you're often going to have to teach it. So it's good. It's fun. I would recommend it 100%. Try it. Dan's like, not real. It's not very realistic. Yeah. When in doubt, get points. Exactly. You're right. Honey Buzz, which came out in 2020 or something. I mean, this is not a new game, but it's somehow on the list. So, I don't know why it's on the list. Maybe it's the first time they can show at Essen and it showed up on the list. I'm not sure. But Honey Buzz is a great little game where you're building out your little honeycomb and you're trying to get like combos when you complete your regions and stuff on your map, and then you're also trying to do other things on the board with some set collection, and there's a whole bunch of like market manipulation and stuff going on. There's actually a lot going on in this game, but it's really nice and very beautiful game. It is gorgeous. I really liked it. I have it. I still have it. I would definitely play it. Yeah, it's cool. Maybe the German edition is new. Yeah, maybe it is, but I only sorted this by English versions, and this is going to be sold by Elf Creek Games, not by some other publisher. So I don't know. But yeah. Look, I played it still in prototype form. But yes. And then I got the Kickstarter version. It's a beautiful game. Definitely recommend checking that out. Look, a new edition of Sanssouci. I mean, how long did that take? It took 9 years, apparently. I've had my Sanssouci since forever. I love it. There's no reason to love it as much as I love it, but I love it. It's just a walk in the park. What can I say? It's a great game. It is so fun. I don't know why I love this game so much, but I do. And it has that place in my heart. So I guess they made a reprint of it. I don't know if they created any new rules or fixed any rules, or I don't know if they did anything to it other than have a new cover for it. I'd be curious to know. I would, if I were going to Essen, this is one that I would 100% go and see what it looks like and what it is. I love the game. I haven't played it in ages either. Oh, Dutch Yoda thinks it's the first time Elf Creek is at Spiel. That makes sense. Did they make changes to Sanssouci? I don't know. I just know that this is on the list and that they're making a new edition. So, I don't know. Dan, do some investigation for me. Oh, Dan says, I guess there were some differences, but I'd have to watch a video to see what. Eric did a video. Okay. All right. Well, we'll get on that because we like that game a lot. Sanssouci. Oh, no. This is Sagrada. The Great Facades. The Glory. The third expansion in the Sagrada family. Possibly the best one. Well, we just played it on stream. We really like it. I love Sagrada. I've always loved Sagrada. And Sagrada Glory adds more dice. It adds a lot more like objectives to work in. And there's a new lightning card thing. So there's more objectives. And then if you're first to complete it, you get the points. You have a couple objectives at the beginning of the game that you can choose to keep or not. Then you'll have to create patterns on your board. However, if you don't complete it by the end of the game, you will lose those points. So you add that like risk involved with drafting these objectives. So there's stuff to think about. It's not hard to include this new expansion at all. It's actually probably the easiest of all of the Great Facades expansions because everything is very straightforward. So if you're into Sagrada, this is easily one that you should pick up. It is available now, so you don't have to wait till Essen. It's now available. Hello, Raiders! Welcome in. Welcome. I am Steph. I am currently going through the Spiel 22 preview list. Appreciate that raid. Let us know what you were playing over there. I will continue. I am talking about the games on the Spiel list that I have played before or have had access to, and just talking about my experiences. Here we have Crescent Moon. We played a full 5 players when we played this game. And this is... yeah, this will work great for people who love a lot of player interaction and love asymmetry. I guess for people who like games like Root, I feel like this will work really well. You will need 4 or 5 players for this game, which is definitely off-putting for someone who plays mostly 2 players. I actually didn't hate the game. I liked the game okay. It's definitely not for my particular taste in games, but I mean, there's a lot of like combat and interactions, and you kind of have to know everything about everybody, about their powers and what they're trying to do, their objectives, because everybody has different objectives and things to do. So it does benefit from more than one play. After my first play, I'm not sure it's a game that I would get back to the table, just because I don't really have the right group for this game. But I could see it working well with the right groups to be played over and over again. So yeah. And Med School played a couple games of Azul with the game of Llama after. Nice. Cool games. Yep. I know. Michael was not much of a fan for Crescent Moon. Dad said interesting design, but not for me. Oh yeah, Michael says one thing he did not enjoy was that if you are playing a certain role, you have to sit in a certain seat. So you have to go in order based on your position. So that is a little bit weird. You would think that they would figure out a way to make it balanced by not having to sit in a certain seat. That is a little weird. The board is modular, so the boards will change. But yeah, it is a little weird. The next on the list is Genotype. We played this on stream a while back. Really nice drafting game. You're drafting dice to take actions and do things on your board. And so you have dice, and then I think it's worker placement. So worker placement with your dice, and you're trying to gather resources, gather tools, do all the things. It's a nice game. So, hey, Derek, how's it going? Michael says, Genotype is super fun. Yeah, it's a beautiful game, too. So, it's a game where you can't do everything and you want to. Those are the best kinds, right? Because you can't do everything you want. Dad's like, oh yeah, I played Genotype. I kind of forgot about it. The Guild of Merchant Explorers. This one I have. Michael hasn't played it yet, so we haven't shown it on stream yet, but we will be getting to that really soon. I really enjoy this game, and I've only played the first game because on TTS you can play the first game, but apparently there are more like scenarios that you can play. So I'm really interested in playing the alternate boards and the different cards if there's different cards. I don't know much about what's in the box because I haven't actually played the physical version of it. I've played it on TTS, like I said, so it's just whatever was there. I think you can play the other modes, but I haven't looked in the bags, the little bags off to the side. So I really was intrigued by this game, and I still have no idea. It is a flip. I don't want to say flip and right game, but it really kind of is. You're flipping a card and then you're putting cubes on the board. So it's a flick it and click cube down board. And so you're trying to explore the different lands, and then each round you kind of reset your board. So you need to get everything complete so that you can set up shop for the next round. And so then from there, you can start exploring further from there. Oh, it's like a weird... It's cool. It's a cool game, and I get why people have been enjoying it. So I'm very excited to play that again. Flip in place. Yes, flip in place. Deadpan says Guild of Merchant Explorers is really fun. There are 3 other maps. Okay, cool. I'm very excited to try those. Derek says it's been ever such a Monday. My Shelfie actually just showed up on Board Game Arena, so everybody can go and enjoy My Shelfie right now if you want to go play on Board Game Arena. I got an early prototype or preview copy of the game, and it's cool. I like, so there's actual stands that you have, kind of almost like a bingo board. A Connect 4 board. Like you stand it up and then you're dropping tiles in. And then the actual game is you're drafting tiles from this display in your living room. And you get 1 to 3 tiles that have to be connected. And then you have to drop them into one column in any order that you drafted for the tiles that you draft. So they have to go into one column, and you're trying to have different goals that you're completing, and you're trying to just get the most points. So it's very simple. I don't think that it will blow anybody away. There's not like... I wished it was a little bit deeper. I like the game, and I have it. I don't know if it'll be a long-term keeper, but I thought it was okay, and it will work really well for like introductory games, or casual gamers will enjoy this. There's not a whole lot going on. It's cool. I like drafting tiles. I will always play a drafting game. But it's one of those things like, okay, I've now played it like 5 times, and do I need to play it a whole lot more? Probably not. I've seen what it has to offer. There isn't a whole lot of replay value, in my opinion, with this game. Dan says it was a decent, very light game. Bree's like, I'm interested in this one for reasons. And yeah, no, it's a great, attractive game. I love the theme of filling up your shelves. It's not necessarily with games, but there's a category of games in the game. So yeah, it's a beautiful game. It's one of those things that I just, if you like games like Azul, I'm not saying it's like Azul, but it probably has the same amount of interaction and depth. I mean, I actually like this better than Azul. I think Azul is just so mean. This is less mean, but it's, yeah. There's not much going on though. Cafe came out a few years ago, where you're trying to place cards and you're overlapping these different cards to gain a production of coffee. You're trying to deliver coffee to these little shops in your little grid of cards. So you draft cards to place, and then you're going to produce, and you're trying to get all these coffee beans to the stores. I think it's pretty cute. I liked it. Again, it's not really new, but maybe because they hadn't gone to Essen in a while, that now they're going and it's on the list. Founders of Teo, really cool game from Board and Dice. Michael will say he loved it. He demoed it all Gen Con and still enjoys the game. So that's saying something. Really nice tile placement game. Lots of decisions to be made, but everything is laid out nicely, and there's not too many decisions, but you still have choices that you have to, figure out and commit to in order to get the most points. So I love Founders of Teo. Yeah, I knew you would. Yeah, I'll give it a thumbs up for you. I think Board and Dice had a killer year this year with this and Terracotta Army and Teletum. I mean, this year for Board and Dice is probably its strongest year to date. I can't think of a better year of games that they've produced. So, make sure to check out Board and Dice and all their titles this year because you can't go wrong. Decorum. So much fun. I really enjoy this. And you know what? So in the box, you get a whole bunch of scenarios that you can play. And it's a cooperative game to try and place the objects correctly in the house to make everybody happy. And it's just so funny. I've played the same scenario several times and I can't remember anything because I play other scenarios in between. I'm like, wait, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. So people complain that, there's not enough scenarios in the box. Well, I disagree. You try playing 20 scenarios and then going back to scenario 5 and remember what you did. No, you can't. It's just, you can't. I mean, it's just that you won't be able to do it. But it's fun, and you can play with 3 and 4 players, which is totally other scenarios. So we played this with the Foob and Colorfly, and we learned that we can't live together. They just did not want to compromise. And I blamed Defoob. It was his fault. I think this is so funny. I just think it's a great game, and I've had fun showing it to different people since it's come out. A great game for interviewing potential roommates. Exactly. Michael says it's super interesting, but requires the right group. Yep. Sounds about right. Verdant, the newest game from Flat Out Games. They did Calico and Cascadia, and now Verdant, which, if you like the other two, I don't see why you wouldn't like this one as well. It's not the same. It's similar in many ways, but it's also different in many ways. But it's clear it's from the same group of designers, and so it'll be a beautiful game. You're trying to display cards in a certain way to get the light just right for your plants. So you are creating a 3x4 grid of cards, and you're just trying to score the most points and you do this by drafting sets of cards every turn. So it's a clever little game. If you like their other games, I don't see why you wouldn't like this one. I am in the camp of I like Calico more than Cascadia. I know most people like Cascadia more than Calico, but I still like Calico more because it's more of that puzzly feeling. But I certainly love Cascadia as well, and I will always play either of them because I really like it. Verdant, not Verdant. Verdant. I don't know. Emphasize on first syllable, not second syllable. Okay, I'll do my better chance. Verdant. I don't know. I'm not good at titles. Sorry. Dan says I'd play this again, but thought it was less interesting than the earlier games. Words. Yes. Michael and I just played Skate Summer. And this is, oh man, it's a push your luck game. So, right off the bat, don't bet on me because I will lose. I like to push my luck way too much. And so, but the good thing here is if you bust, if you push your luck and you fall, you still will get to do something. So that's good. But you're trying to skate around the park to the different areas to collect the letters for skater. And they give you different benefits if you collect them. So you're really definitely trying to get over into all the different areas to get those rewards. And if you keep busting, well, you got to figure out another way. But there are ways around it. And I think the game is definitely different and it has a really cool card management system. So if it's a cool game, it doesn't feel like anything else that I've played, which is really awesome. So it's worth trying to see if it's your jam. It runs a little long for my liking because I knew I was going to lose pretty soon into the game because I just was not playing it careful. And the first turn was just stupid luck, but I lost on the first turn. So I'm like, oh my God. But I kept going and then I played a little more cautiously going after that, but it's still, I lost several turns of movement. But yeah, that's just, I've learned from my mistakes. So when I go to play it again, maybe I'll do better. But it is cool. It runs a little long. Even with 2 players, the game was 60 minutes. So it was, but that was with us learning and after we got through the rules. And there's always going to be questions and stuff. So when we play it on stream, we'll see how it goes. So we'll definitely, it's on the pile to play. So be on the lookout for that. I like it. It feels different. It's worth checking out. We'll give Kites a little thumbs up there. It is a brilliant little game, real-time game with flipping timers. Totally fun. Plays great with 2 all the way up to 5 players. We played with 5 different groups. One group of 5 we kicked, but did totally great. And the other group of 5 we played several times and lost every time. So I'm not saying it was me, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't me. Not And you can increase the difficulty by adding obstacles and thunderstorms and things like that, where you gotta manipulate how to manage the time and those cards. So if you like quick, it's super quick game. It's a quick game where you're real time cooperative. So if you like those kind of games, definitely check it out. Even if you don't, it's probably still worth checking out just to have this is a different game. It's different than most games in your collection. It will fit its own little niche on your shelf. So it will be good for basically any time. And I brought it out yesterday at the convention and we had a blast. So Dice Theme Park, played it on Board Game Arena. It was still in alpha mode and there were still a lot of issues. So I need to go ahead and play that again really soon. Without all of the code reds that were popping up and everything. I think that this will be a game that's better with fewer players because the AP inducing turns with so many different, you're manipulating these dice to get combos, but you can't really back it up because the way that the board works and how you're doing things, it makes it really difficult to keep track of everything that's happened. So you got to be really careful about what you're doing in this game. So I'm a little bit, I have a copy of the game, so I'm curious to see how it will go in real worlds and on the table when I play 2-player. So I'll report back. Dan says I played Dice Park in person. It wasn't any better than on Yay. Jelvia's like, it's Monday, right? Jelvia, yes. Yes, it is Monday. Yep. Here we have Prince of Florence. I guess there's going to be a reprint of Prince of Florence. That's great news because lots of people love this game. So here you are. Here's Prince of Florence. I've only played it once with 5 players and it was fine. It's probably a game I should play again, but I just never was like, yeah, let's play Prince of Florence. It's not a game that I love, so I would try it again though. Prince is a classic. I understand. Princes of Florence. Princes. Okay. Got it. Batman. Everybody lies. If you know Portal Games, they do the detective series. They also did one recently, Venice Connection, I think it was. And then now they have this Batman IP that they added. So this is a detective game. You have, I think, 3 cases in the box, and you are going through and solving the crime. And it works very much like the other detective games, and they use the Atari, I think it is, Atari system that you can type in the computer, like information that you've collected and stuff like that. So if you're into solving cases and figuring out crimes like the detective game, this will work just the same way, but it has a really awesome IP of Batman. So if you like Batman, obviously it's a great game. Play it. Play it. Eternal Palace. We actually have this one right over here. We just learned it the other day. It is a dice. It's a dice worker placement game. You roll your dice, and then you have to clump them into groups. They can be its own. A single die could be its own group, but you can like make a 6 and a 6 to 12, and then you can go to the 12 location. So you roll your dice. Everybody can look at your dice, and then you put up your shield, and then you can separate them into different groups, and then you reveal it, and then you take turns taking actions, placing them on the board. You're collecting resources, but mostly you're trying to collect painting pieces for your painting to present to the emperor. I like a lot of what the game is doing. It's fairly simple, straightforward, but you are creating this work of art. Now, the game ends once somebody has collected 8 pieces. So again, it's a race to completion, which I'm not a big fan of these race games. I'd rather just have points, I guess. But you're trying to collect these different things. There are very few ways of getting points, so you want to make sure you are getting those painting pieces because they do give points. So you have to try and do that as best as possible. Here we have Tempo. Michael and I played this. It is going to work better with more players. But somebody is like managing a tempo and another player is throwing down like what they have to say. Boom, bop, boom, bop. And then they have to keep going by adding more cards. Psst, or something, bop, bop, psst. And then you keep having to repeat it. And then you keep adding more cards and until you either break the tempo or the time runs out or something happens. It's been a minute since we played it, but it's fun. You kind of have to know music theory a little bit, but not that much. Yeah, it's kind of more of an activity than a game, but it was cute. I haven't played this Mandala Stones Harmony expansion yet, but I have it. I like Mandala Stones, so I assume it just adds more cards and other ways to score and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a very, very small box, like this big. But if you're into the base game Mandala Stones, then I don't see why you wouldn't want to pick up this little expansion. Old London Bridge, really, it's a light game. It's a light game of, worker placement where you place your guy and then you get a tile and you put it on your bridge. And you're trying to create this chain of like descending numbers. Once you get to a low end, or you got to place a park and then you could start over. You're trying to collect these different building types and activate these different areas. So if I get a tile with a blue shield on it, then I get to activate the blue region. I get to activate whatever region I just took this building from times the blue shields I have on my whole bridge. So you're trying to collect different sets of colors of shields so you can activate the abilities better around the board and get more bonuses and stuff. It's pretty light, but I really like it. Dan says Old London Bridge is overproduced. It's a little card game, basically. and Michael says, I like Old London Bridge. Yeah, I agree with Dan. There's no reason why you need all the stands and everything. That's Queen for you, though. Give Aeon's End Legacy of Gravehold a thumbs up. Obviously, this needs more love. I haven't really got very deep into the Legacy campaign, but I really want to because obviously it's fun. No, in all honesty, if you haven't played Aeon's End, then you should not play this game. If you're going to play a new Aeon's End game and you've never played Aeon's End, you either play Aeon's End, the base game, or you play Aeon's End Legacy, the first one. This Aeon's End Legacy of Gravehold really assumes that you've played Aeon's End before. You need to kind of know the system already because they just really throw you in it in the first scenario as if you know it. So you really need to do some research. Otherwise, you're going to have a really bad time playing this game, I think. Or if you can manage to get past the first game, keep going. Keep it going. Even if you're discouraged, just go to the next level. Required for Aeon's End lovers. Yeah. I would agree with that. So, with that being said, I think it's fantastic. I love more content. I love that they did a new Legacy game for it. I'm anxious to continue playing it. I've loved all the Aeon's End content so far, so definitely recommended. We played Powerline on TTS, and wow, was this a huge miss. This was not a great game. It's too limiting. There are way too many things that limit what you're doing. And I feel like this game will always produce a very similar outcome because of it. Dan says, I like Durkheim, but Powerline was not good. Yeah, I would just go into Powerline with caution. I would this is definitely a game to try before buying. Yeah. Try before buy. I guess that's the word of warning there. Bree is asking, the question I'm trying to figure out is which games will I be able to get at Essen that I won't be available in the US at all or for a long time? Well, I would definitely say any international companies that, like Pasoa, for example, I don't know if you'll be able to get that. Definitely recommend it, though. Yeah, I haven't really put much thought into that, so I'll have to think about that for you. Fife we played on stream a few weeks ago, and I really liked it. It's totally, there's a lot of luck involved with Fife, so you kind of have to go in it with that in mind. The other players that I played with didn't really enjoy it. Michael certainly didn't enjoy enjoy it. So it's not going to be a game for everybody. However, if you don't mind the luck involved, and you can just have fun with it. It's very colorful. You get choices still with the surfboards that you're trying to collect. But again, there's no guarantee that you'll ever draw the right color or the right symbol or the right number that you'll ever need. And you might never draw one of the abilities to swap out a tile. So you just have to go with that in mind, saying it could just be all luck. But I liked it. But yeah. Living Forest. This is a weird game for me because I've played, I don't know, 20 something times. It's available on Board Game Arena. So if you haven't played and you want to play, you can definitely play it there. It is a game that suffers from the end game. I hate the end of the game. I really do. I've played this over and over and over again, and I really like what the game is doing. I like the overall feeling of what's happening during the game. I just always hate how it ends every time. And I've played it like 20 times, and I just don't. I don't like it. I don't know. It's a weird feeling. I don't often have feelings like this towards games. I usually know. And it's a game I really want to like. I really want to like it, which is why I've played it so many times. But I think it needs work. I want them to totally redo the ending. I want an expansion with a totally different ending. And then maybe it will be the best. I don't know. Dan says he should try Living Forest again. Now that it's one Kenner Spiel, that is unlikely. Totally change the ending, probably not. Expansion, but if the expansion can add an alternate ending, that would be great. Yeah, Time Roller. I think you were thinking of maybe Evergreen. The loot box from Board and Dice is just a box full of expansions, I think. So promos, mini promos and stuff for the games, loot box. Why wouldn't you want that? You would. So get it. Matt, thank you for subscribing. 14 months. Yeah. Thanks for that subscription. Welcome in. Tiny Epic Dungeons Deluxe. Deluxify your Tiny Epic Dungeon. So the Tiny Epic games have always been like right on the line of like good or just like bad. There's some that are slightly above good, but not by much. This game falls right under the it falls right on that line of like it's missing stuff. It's missing this. The overall game is actually quite fun. I like what they're doing, but the complexity of this game is too much. There's too many symbols. There's too many edge cases. There's too many things that you just need to know that they don't provide any answers in the rules. So I spent half of the game looking on BGG for rules and clarifications that they don't really have a FAQ on or they don't have any answers to. And then it's just like, it makes the game not fun and unplayable. If there are too many unanswered things and cases that need to be clarified, you need to create a game that's more streamlined and less chaotic. So as far as the game goes, I think the game is actually fairly fun. It's just not ready. It needs to be cleaned up. But I find that with a lot of Scott Alms games where it just needs work. But this one, I want to love it. I think we still might show it on stream if we can. It needs. I don't want to spend the whole stream looking up answers to things when we have questions. So that's the problem. That's the problem with this game. Shano, hey, it's Monday. I know. It's because yesterday we weren't here, so I wanted to make sure that I could get in this Essen stream. I know it's Monday, but hot form scrolling action +1. Exactly. All right, next on the list is Marvel Remix. Obviously, this needs more thumbs because this game is amazing. This is one of my favorite games from the year. I love it. We've played it on stream. I think we played a few games of it when we did. This is a game I will bring wherever I go. Actually, I should have brought it this past weekend to the convention we went to. I forgot. How did I forget? I'm so mad at myself. This is a great game. A game I will always play. A game that's easy to teach. A game that just works. It's so good. And I don't even care if it's Marvel. Like, I like Marvel. I'm glad that it is Marvel because maybe it will get more people involved with gaming. I don't know. If it can bring in new gamers, I'm all for it. This game is great. Tyrell says, why would you make me buy this stuff? Because it's great. That's why. That is why. Buy it, play it, love it. All right, next is Dulce. We played it on stream. Actually, 2 times we played on stream. Honestly, the cover is not great. It's not inviting. I guess it does look like chocolates. It looks like a chocolate box, and I guess that kind of conveys the experience. But it is totally a game I would like. Dan even said Dulce was pretty good. That's a great tagline. Buy it, play it, love it. Yes. So they'll say everybody is working on their own little area. It's a multiplayer solitaire game where one player draws a card and it says number 18, so everybody finds that 18 card and does their own thing. You are making an engine with these cards. You are placing cards as shops. You are placing cards as harvesting goods. Or you could actually take the harvest action, removing goods and running your factory. You're moving all these cubes along, creating byproducts and all that stuff. And so you're trying to gain points by producing these goods through the shops to other shops and everything. And it's a nice little engine builder. Plays out really quickly. The rules aren't that complicated, but I can see where it would be a little bit complicated for new players. But even still, if you walk through it with them, new players, I think it will be just fine and they will understand what's going on. So definitely recommended. If you like this, go check out Cities, which is a 10 out of 10 for me. I love Cities. It's not the same, but it's tile placement in a similar manner, where you're picking a card saying number 10 and everybody finds 10 and does their own thing with the 10 tile. But yeah, the Cities is a much easier game than this. But love it. This one is a lot of fun. The interior graphic design could also use some work, though. Yeah. Matt says it. I think it looks like the pack of cards. The pattern reminds me of playing card backs. Oh yeah, I could see that. I know that the box is much bigger than that, but whatever. I see the cover, it reminds me of playing cards. I can see that, yeah. First rat. This was pretty hot at Gen Con. They sold out pretty quickly. I have a copy to play on stream, so hopefully we get to play that soon. I really like First Rat. It is not accurate to say race right here, in my opinion. I mean, yes, I guess technically there's a race aspect to it, but it's not. There are so many things going on in this game, and that is not how I would describe the game ever. It's not really a race. It is. There are a lot of things to do and a lot of ways to get it done. So it's all about optimizing your turns and collecting resources to build spaceship parts and collecting abilities to activate those and all these different things that are going on. Super cute game. I quite enjoyed it. So hopefully we get to stream that soon for you because it's a cool game. Michael says totally a race game. I don't see how it's a race game at all. I guess I don't get it, and maybe that's why I don't think of it as a race game. Michael says totally a race game. I don't know. I guess I don't get it, but we're gonna show it on stream anyway, and then you can decide. But if it is a race and it can be disguised to the point where I don't really get why it's a race, props to it, because I'm not really into race games. So, and it actually put me off the game to begin with. So I'm definitely glad I've tried it. Energy drinks and comic books. Exactly. It's like putting a dog pill in a piece of cheese. Exactly. That's exactly like that. Oh my God. That's funny. Okay, next on the list is Ballada. Because you're a bard telling the stories of the heroic journey of the hero. I don't know. The theme is not really there for me, but I guess you're a bard and you're retelling the tale. And so it's a flip and write game where you're flipping cards and selecting one of the two options. And then you have to put it somewhere in the timeline. And so you're trying to create the story as the cards unfold. I thought it was pretty interesting. I like this one. We played it on stream. We had a good time. So there is a video if you are interested in that. Last I knew, it was on the BoardGameGeekStore.com, so you could probably order it from them. We need to wrap all race games in cheese for Steph. Very much pasted on theme. Yes. Endangered Butterfly, the Monarch Butterfly scenario. So if you've played Endangered, it's a cooperative game of trying to save the endangered species. Now there is the Butterfly Monarch expansion for it. It's just a little packet. I have it right there. I haven't yet played it, so I don't know if it changes anything dramatically, but it's very small packet. So I'm guessing it's just a new scenario where it works just the same way as the base game, but now you have different species to save. I've liked the endangered game, so I look forward to checking out this Monarch Butterfly scenario. Dice Hospital emergency roll, or Dice Hospital ER emergency roll. A new roll and write. I hate the theme of hospitals, but I played it anyway. I actually thought, at first I thought it was an expansion to Dice Hospital. I didn't realize ER stood for emergency roll and that it was a new roll and write game. So that has happened to me in the past where it's the same like theme as another game, but it's a standalone game and it's not abundantly clear to me. Just like the Tidal Blades Banner Festival is not clear that it's a standalone game for people. So that's always the trouble of trying to have that overarching theme among your games. But in any case, I played it and I really like this one. It kind of has a similar feeling to Welcome To, but there's a lot more going on in this. It's similar because there's 3 choices. One player will take one choice and whatever is left, the other players will get to choose from whatever is left. So it has that you're drafting dice, but it's associated with a power. So the same kind of thing happens in Welcome 2, except this time the active player will be actually removing one of the options. So you have to figure out what's best for you, the dice and the color of the dice, or the action involved, or maybe it's just perfectly lined up and you get what you want. But that never happens, and you know that. But sometimes the action is way more important than the die that you're drafting. So you have to think about that. It's really good. There's a lot of interesting choices in that game, so it's fun if you like roll and writes anyway. Dan says they should call it Emergency Roll, a dice hospital game or something. I agree, that would have been a slightly better title. Also, like Welcome 2, in that you have to line your ward up in order. Oh yeah, you have to line your ward up, so you have to go from like low to high values. Yeah, you are correct. You're correct. So if you like Welcome 2, this is like the next step up. And then again, I also really like Matthew Dunstan games. He's been coming out with a lot of really great games recently. So he also did Next Station London, which is probably my number one roll and write, flip and write game of all time. Like nothing is better than that game, and I really, really love it. So he has some clever ideas. So I would definitely check this one out. Very underpriced for medical. $23. No problem. All right, so I didn't actually get to play Australia right now. I've been wanting to play it. I pulled it out a few times to try and get played, but hopefully I get to play it really soon so we can play this new expansion. The only reason I didn't play Australia before is because I thought it was a zombie game. I was wrong. It is a Cthulhu game. Now I'm more excited to try it. I really thought it was like zombie invasion, but if it's like Cthulhu invasion or something, that's like way more betterer. So I have no idea really what is involved with this new Australia expansion. It looks like new maps are involved. So if you're into the base game, there's more maps. So obviously it's going to be better. You got to get the more maps, right? Dan said, yeah, I thought Z was for a zombie. I agree. That's exactly what I thought. Matt would say I'd rather play a zombie game. I know, but you like zombies and I don't. So and Michael said, I too would rather play a zombie game. Lovecraft is so overdone. Yeah, I get that. I actually like the Cthulhu lore. I think it's like super cool. So I don't mind the Cthulhu. I like it. So, but I hear what you're saying. It's 1 to 2 player alternate gameplay. 1 to 2 player alternate gameplay. Oh, okay. So I got a map expansion and I got this one. So I had 2. I didn't realize that this was the 1 to 2 player. So that's even better because Michael and I play 2 players. So that will be great. Now we can play it. Bree says, I love Cthulhu. Which are basically zombies. Yeah, okay. It's against the rules emphasizing a Z if there are no zombies. Totally false advertising. So there might be zombies. I don't really know. I haven't yet played the base game, and so I need to do that. And then, yeah. Michael says, I don't care for Cthulhu at all, nor the time period. I enjoy games in that mythos, but do not like the mythos itself. You should hear what Cthulhu thinks of you. Let the record show. They are zombies, but more mind-controlled zombies, not undead zombies. I don't like undead zombies, so I don't mind the mind control so much. All right. Nirvana, really interesting dice game. It's a dice roll and write game with like a trick taking mechanic after that. So you roll the dice, fill in your board appropriately, and then you play a hand of cards using the different values that you've created on your board. So it's like such a weird game. Definitely different. I had fun playing the several games I've played so far, and it's a game I would definitely play again. It was unique. Actually, Bree, this might be one that you won't be able to get outside of, like, I don't think anybody's printing it. At least I haven't heard. So you might not be able to buy this one. So this might be one that you'd pick up at Essen. If that sounds interesting to you, a roll and write / trick taking game. It's really weird, but it's weird, but it works. BGCG store, get on it. Okay, I'll put it on a list. I love both those things. Yeah, it'll be worth trying. And you've played this? I've played this. Yeah, I've played this several times. But Michael didn't like it, so it's one of those, like, it's not going to get played here a whole lot, but Dan liked it, so I would play with Dan. Well, that's what I thought. Nirvana was going to be on Amazon at some point. Shano! Thank you for that gifted sub to Time Roller. That's amazing. Thank you. Challengers. This game is amazing. We played it twice this past weekend. We played it with full 8 players, and it was so much fun. Oh my god, this game is crazy. I played it originally in April in the prototype form, and it was awesome. Totally loved it. Just came out. Been talking about it a lot. We've been playing it. Played it with 4 players, then we played with 8 players, then we played with 6 players. It just plays, and we played it with 2 players. I mean, it plays great with all range of player counts, but with 8 players, it was a blast. You have 7 bouts, and you're playing this mini tournament, and it's awesome. And so it comes down to the final 2 people who have the most points after the 7 rounds, and then they have a match to see who the epic winner is. And it is a deck building game where you get to draft cards before the round starts, and then you can cull whatever you want from your deck. So you're managing your deck, but you don't want to run out of cards or you will lose, or you don't want to have too many different named cards or you will lose. So you're playing against these other people who are doing the same thing with their deck of cards. And so these matches last about 2 minutes. I mean, it's like so fast each match. And then the more time in the game is spent drafting the cards that you want to increase your deck with and try and get these cool powers and values and everything. So the game is just super fun. I can't explain it well enough. You just need to try it if you ever get the chance. I love it. This maybe it will be a sleeper hit. I don't know. Why is there only 39 likes? Nobody knows about this game, I guess, but it's so much fun, and it'll work for if you have 8 players and you don't like to split up. This is a perfect game. I mean, it's just great. It's fun. Time Roller, thank you so much for gifting that sub. Paying it forward. How wise wind. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Dan says the cover is not good. Oh my goodness. Shadow gifting sub to Barnesinator. What? Thanks for all those gifted subs. You guys are amazing. Thank you. It must be September or something. Michael says, do not be put off by the descriptions of this game. Play it at least once. Yay! Michael says, to be honest, I think I prefer 4 to 6 players to the 8 players. It's a lot to manage with 8 players, so I get that. I also liked playing with 8 players, though, because you don't ever repeat plays against anybody, but that's fine. I would play it with any player count because I really like the player counts. Michael says, it's not that. Okay. Michael says, I actually like playing against individuals multiple times. You like playing against multiple? Yeah, sure. For me, I like that less because I'm not focused on what their decks might consist of, but I get why you would like that, and you know, you could figure out how to increase your deck, because if you know that one player has a bunch of cards that will do a specific thing, you can try and counter it by getting cards that would counter those cards. So the more knowledge you have of players' decks, the better you have at improving your own deck. But yeah, in any case, Challengers is one that should be played by like everybody. Here we have Wordcraft. I've played it a few times. It's a new word game, and it is over there waiting to be played on stream. You get a few rounds to create words, and it's an area control word game. So you're trying to create words using the letters on the display. There are some side goals that I really am not a fan of, but they're there. I would almost rather take out the side goals and just play the game without it. But as it stands, you play with the side goals. And yeah, it's a really interesting word game. I like a lot of what it's doing. I don't like that little extra scoring and losing discs and stuff. But so it's one of those things where if you like word games, then this is probably worth checking out. We have Skull Canyon Ski Fest. This game came out, I don't know, over the summer, or actually earlier this year, I think. And it is, I don't know, in line with something like Ticket to Ride. It has a lot of similar feelings, except in this game, you're collecting cards the same way as Ticket to Ride, and you're going up the ski, going like up the hill, so then you can come down the hill on the different trails using the cards from your hand and playing, and you'll get points depending on the difficulty of the trail and if you've matched certain patterns and stuff. I think this game falls short with the lodge phase of the game. So I like the whole mountain part of the game, but the whole night in the lodge part of the game kind of is lacking for me. So I do think the game is worth playing to see if it's one that you would like. I'm not sure that the game is. It doesn't really. It's not going to see the table a whole lot, in my opinion, for me, but maybe it will work better for you. I think it has a lot of neat ideas, and if they just remove the whole large part of the game, I actually think I would have liked it a lot better. If they removed the Yeti part of the game, I think I would have liked that better as well. So yeah, I think that it could have used slight polishing to make this game be really interesting. Aldabas is a card game that we played on stream when it was on Kickstarter last year. It just got the printing. It's now available, and it's a cute little like card game where you're trying to create patterns and of these doors to gain bonuses and coins, and it's a very simple drafting game, but it works really well. I like it. Tiny Epic Dinosaurs. This came out a few years ago, so I guess maybe Gameland Games is going to Essen for the first time, and they put on all their games, I guess, from the past few years. Yeah, it's one of the better Tiny Epic games. I love little dinosaurs and the action to like create your little park. I thought it was pretty cool. It's cute. If you like the theme and you like Tiny Epic games, I don't see why you wouldn't like this one. It's one that I still own, so there's that. Oh, here's the other Australia game. This one, this is another expansion that I have. I think. I haven't yet played it, but I do see the Cthulhu coming out of the water there. So we'll see. I don't know. I have to first play the base game, but there are 2 new expansions for Australia coming out. And then I can tell you more about it once I play it. Timerlo says, this makes the game one versus many. Ah. That's awesome. Thanks, Time Roller. That makes it more sense. I am pretty sure Michael would enjoy playing the one versus many aspect of that. He likes to be that person. So Michael wants to be the guy coming out of the water like this. Arr. Almanac, the Crystal Peaks. We played the other Almanac game, and we played this one on stream. We played it during the Kickstarter, so I really like these Almanac games where you are going through a bunch of mini games, and depending on the outcome of one of the mini games, it will determine the direction you go for the next mini game. So I like that you won't always have the same path that you're going to move throughout the games, and so I think it's a really clever, different type of game that I don't really have. I mean, I don't think there's anything really like it out there. So I would definitely recommend checking out the Almanac games if you get the chance. They're cool. They're really cool. Hanamakoji Geisha Road. This I've played several times. I helped play test it a little bit when they were developing it and coming up with different ideas. I don't particularly like that they used Hanamakoji as like in the title. It's again a situation where it might mislead people. It is not an expansion to Hanamakoji. It works in similar ways, but there's a lot of different things happening. It is an I split you choose kind of mechanic where you're using your card, your little tokens to say, here are 3 cards, choose one, I keep 2. In Hanamakoji, if you know that game, you have those 4 tokens where you're taking these different actions. And so it works a similar way, but you are moving these geishas around a rondel of sorts, and you're trying to make them land exactly on their different stores or homes. And you're going to try and collect different tokens and sets in a different way to Hanamakoji while being very similar to Hanamakoji. So if you like Hanamakoji, it's probably definitely worth checking out Geisha's Road. I still like Hanamakoji better, but it is cool to have an additional game in the series. Again, it's for 2 players, so if you play 2-player games, small card game, it works. Matt says, I don't play games I can't pronounce. Tiny Epic Pirates Deluxe. Again, with the Tiny Epic games, this is basically Merchants of Marauders, but not as polished. A lot of questions where you check out the BGG for answers. I like what it's doing with this little like ship with the boat actions that you're selecting. That there's like a little rondelle on your player board that's really cool. I don't really like the player interaction out in the water where you can kind of beat up on each other. I get that it's a pirate thing that you do. I'm more interested in the merchants part of merchants and marauders part of the game. So I like the go find the loot, go deliver things aspect. I don't like the blow ships up aspect of that game. Tiny Epic Pirates was too much of a race for you. Yeah, I get that. Um, your collection isn't complete unless you have at least one pirate game and it's in the rules. I agree. I am always trying new pirate games because I love the theme of like pirates. I think that the theme is awesome. I totally like it. I'm not into take that as much, so I don't generally like pirate games, which is why I'm always on the lookout for a new pirate game without the take that aspect of it because I love the theme. Matt, you need to compile these rules somewhere. It's only fair. It's true. The Gardens. We played it. We played on stream, I believe. I had an early prototype copy of it, and I quite enjoyed it. You draft cards to place into your tableau, and you're trying to create different like sets with how you're placing these cards. Open drafting, modular boards. Yep, just like what it says. It's a beautiful game. Guess what? Matthew Dunstan. I think that he's like knocking it out of the park these days. I've been quite enjoying his games, so it's cool. I liked it. City Chase. This is I guess a one versus many where one player is trying to escape the city and everybody else is trying to be, the good guys trying to hunt them down and before they escape the city. And so one person is moving the car along the grid and hiding it under different buildings. And the other people are the helicopters trying to search for the car. And so it can be very luck of the if you pick up the right thing and find out information, then you're on your way. But if you never find any information, you might be falling behind. I think I had a good time playing it the few times that I did, and it's cute. I liked it. Split Toe. This was on Board Game Arena, and we played it with 3. I do think this will be a better game with more than 3 players because you'll see just more cards in general. I would like to play it again with more players. Yeah, I right now I don't have a solid opinion because 3 players was an okay time, but you just might not get cards you need or want, and you will possibly see more cards. Well, you will definitely see more cards with more players, so you'll have more of a chance. And you're trying to work with your neighbors to try and get the best combo of cards next to you on both sides. So there's a lot of hopefully they draft correctly. I like the idea of this game, so it's one that I need to play again. Wild Style. This one, you are real time placing cards down to create sets. We played it on stream the other day. It's real time, so we couldn't like watch chat or take our time. You gotta just go, and you just gotta get the discs on the board and try and get patterns and try and cover enough fields so you're getting points for it. It's cool. I like it. You know, you have to like real time games. The theme is cool. I like the graffiti kind of theme. Whether or not it is, keep for long term, obviously it's just not going to hold very long. So, but I still had fun. So Jiraku, I guess, is getting a reprint. So if you're into Jiraku, this is a good chance to. I don't know if there's anything changed with this edition of Jiraku, but I like Jiraku, and then Tasty Minstrel picked it up because they like Jiraku. So now it is coming out again. It is a really cool trick-taking area control game. It's very weird. It's cool. There's nothing like it. So it would be interesting to have more people get to play it. Cryptid Urban Legends. It was not good. It was not a good game. I mean, I guess if you're into 2-player abstract game, this is full on abstract with the Cryptid name on it. It is not deduction or anything like the other Cryptid games, which Cryptid is a very good game. I like Cryptid quite a bit. This is nothing like Cryptid. It just has the Cryptid name on it. It didn't do anything for me. It has awesome art, but it just was not great. Sorry. Can't recommend it. Star Trek Super Skill Pinball. If you're into Super Skill Pinball games, then obviously it's the new one. And if you like Star Trek, boom. I don't think it really does anything new or different from the other Super Skill games, but yeah. Good if there's more content if you really like Super Skill Pinball. And even more content with the holiday special. I haven't yet played it, but I have it here and we will be playing it soon. So get ready. I like the pinball games. I think they are thematic and they're always fun. I never get the rolls that I want or I'm trying for, so I tend to always lose this game. But I still like the challenge. Catapult Feud. I guess this is getting a new printing of it. It's a 2-player game where you're just literally flinging these you're catapulting these like balls into the other, trying to knock down the other player's castle and fort and characters. And it's a cute little dexterity game, obviously designed for kids. Barracuda, small little game from Helvetique. And I didn't end up streaming this one just because it's not great. It's fine, but there's some like take that involved, which makes the game feel unfun, and it's just kind of chaotic what's happening, and it's a race to collect gold. I don't know. The game just didn't do anything for me, so I didn't feel like it was one that we were going to stream. Not great. Yeah, agreed, Matt. Look, Santiago is getting a reprint. What is this? What is this? Okay, I really like Santiago. This is a great 5-player game. There aren't very many of them. It's just, I'm glad that they're doing a reprint of it. I don't know if they changed anything, but I'm curious to find out. Yeah, Santiago is one of those games where it's like I play it once every 10 10 years. I've played it like twice ever or something, but I've enjoyed both times that I've played it, and then I say, why don't I play this more? And this is one of those games, so it's just I should play it again, and maybe this is a good chance to play it again. Nacho Pile. We played this on stream the other day, and you push your luck, you draw the chip out, and hopefully you don't draw the same number that you already have, or you bust and you put everything back in, and you keep going around and around and around. If it comes back to you and you still have nachos in front of you, you get to actually plate them, and then you might actually win. If there's one chip left in the bag, you pull it out. If it's your number and you have the most of it, you will win. Nachos. Matt says, so many older games getting facelifts. About time is what he says. There are so many classic games out there that everybody in the hobby raves about, but I'll never play them because they look like garbage. Give me a game that looks like it's from the 21st century, and I'll give you a whirl. Nacho Pile does have plastic chips. Yes. They aren't real. You cannot eat them. Karen. I played this long ago. Maybe in 2019. I don't know, 2019 or 18. In a prototype form. I'm sure it's changed a whole lot since then. Oh, look. Played in prototype form 2018. It was called Stone Circles. So I don't have much to say. I remember enjoying the experience. So I would definitely want to play it again. Not sure it's one for Michael, though. It's very abstract. Indus 2500, we played it when it first came out. We played it on stream. It's a cool roll and write game where draft and write game where you're drafting cards to make areas on your board. Yes. I like it. They changed the cover. It's much more attractive than the one I have. But I like it. I think it's a cool game. Dice Conquest. So it's funny that we played this on stream just the other day, and it's been a very successful video on YouTube. A lot of views for this little game. So I'm guessing that somehow the word of this game got out, and I'm very pleased because I love it. I really, really like Dice Conquest. I think it is a clever, dungeon crawl game that's very simple. It has a lot of cool abilities, and you could get lucky with the dice. You could get terribly unlucky with the dice, but it's all about the experience and the fun that you have while you're playing the game, right? So that I just have so much fun seeing what's going to happen. I want I want expansions for it. I want more themes. I want more villains. I want more stuff to kill. I want more characters. This could be expanded in so many ways, and I'm very excited to see how it is expanded. It's a great, great game. I played the prototype version of Karagar Etage. And we gave a lot of feedback at the time, and there's just not much going on in here. It is meant for a, entry-level gaming experience, so I think it works for that. It is a resource management type of game to build up the Taj. I think it's still. I don't know how they developed it since, but it was on GameFound or Kickstarter at the time, and maybe they've done some more to change what. Maybe he took the feedback that we gave, but I'd be curious to try the final production. Yosemite, 2-player game we played on stream. Quick set collection game to collect animals and take their pictures, which I enjoyed taking pictures. I don't really see playing this a whole lot. It's not like a wow kind of game. It's a good game. It's not a great game. There are better 2-player games out there. Beautiful though, so I'll hand it to that. I know a lot of people will enjoy it. So yeah, if you're like 2-player games, then yeah. Lions of Lydia. I have a copy now, so I can play it in person. I played it once on TTS, and it did not wow me. And you'll see my comment there. I could see this game getting samey after a few plays. The designer said, well, you should have added more expansions, but you know what? If your game comes with so many mini expansions in the box, what is the intended way it's supposed to be played? This is always a gripe that I have. Like, if you want it to be played with X, Y, and Z expansion, then you should have just started with that from the rules and included it all to begin with. If you say base game is just this, and then, you know, the next level up is this and this and this, I'm going to play the base game first. And if it's not, I don't know. Assume people can play a game without having just dumbed down like completely. You need, I don't know. It's a gripe that I have, and if you know you're gonna get somewhat defensive at me for playing it the base game and then rating it based on the base game, well, yeah, you should have thought about that. Like, I don't know what to say. I would play it again. I ended up finding a copy, so I will try it again, but I'm just like, I want to like it. It has some neat ideas, and I think that there is some good game in here, but I'm not sure like how many chances I need to give it before I say nope, not for me. But anyway, I will try it again. Maybe those minis expansions will just open up a whole new realm of possibilities, and I will be enlightened. That's what I hope. Captain Sonar, I've played it. I don't like it. It's fine. What? $118 buy now? What? Why is it $118? That box better have gold in it, by the way. I'm just not into the Captain Sonar game very much, so I don't know. I don't know what's different about this version, but maybe it's a really sweet version with lots of cool things. I don't know. Maybe there's real subs or something. I don't know. Firefly Misbehaving, I can't do a thumbs down. Otherwise, I probably would. But that's negative. So that, you know, you're trying to stay away from negative. But yeah, this is not a good game. Don't even, just because it has Firefly in the title, I'm warning you, don't do it. Just don't. I played it. I played the whole thing even. I didn't even stop. I played the whole thing. I love Firefly. That's why I played it. No. Matt says avoid Firefly themed games only because I never watched the show, so there's no connection for me. Oh, you avoid. Yeah. I mean, that's fine. I do recommend the show. The show's great, obviously. Yep. Here we have the Birthday Burglary. The new holiday hijinks game. I really enjoyed it. Super cute. If you need a small birthday gift, a birthday stocking stuffer or something, this is perfect. Escape room and 18 cards. I really love the series of holiday hijinks series from Grand Gamers Guild. Great game. Set a Watch. Obviously, I love it. It's a great game. We've showed the expansion on stream. We showed the base game on stream. It is a game that it's just so much fun. Cooperative adventure game, and I really like this game. It's awesome. Just play it. Play it. Love it. Buy it. Disney Sorcerer Arena. It works well as a intro to battle arena type games where you have little dudes on a map and you're going around trying to beat up the other person. It's very easy to manipulate. You have a hand of cards and you can do only certain things with them, and you get to be cute Disney characters. I mean, I get why it's been such a hot game for families and for the op. I think it's a great idea. It actually works really well. I am just not into battle arena type games. What can I say? If I were going to play one, I guess it would probably be this because I get to be Aladdin and Ariel and all the characters I love. I mean, it's kind of like a smash up because you can get two characters and that you kind of mix their decks together and then you're drawing and then you activate with those characters. So, you can kind of mix and match who you play with. So I think that's really cool. Yep. Hello, Dr. Sign. Hues and cues. Obviously, look at all those colors. It's a game I love. Moving right along. Nah, it's a great party game of, with color guessing and everything. It's a great party game. I really like it. The Sherlock Files, great series of crime solving, puzzle solving game where it's like super quick, 60 minutes and the game will be over, which I really appreciate when it comes to these detective type games because they can run long if you are just debating and thinking about things. But with Sherlock Files, you only know a piece of information and you have to decide what you think is important information and what you think just needs to be discarded. And even if you discard an important piece of information, if you can remember that information at the end of the game, that's okay. So you can, in theory, just discard everything. As long as you know what you've seen, you can discuss it with everybody at the end of the game and decide what you think actually happened and how the story progressed. So I think it's really clever. The more I play Sherlock Files, the more I understand what I need to do and the better I get at the games. And they're all different cases. They're all different stories. It's really, really well done. I love it. I think this is a great series and I highly recommend them. Then we got Spam. Yep, I played it. It is a real-time game where you are trying to knock out your opponents. It actually was way more fun than it looks. It is very ugly. It is not a theme I like. It is not the cartoony art I like. But we had a lot of laughs playing it, so I can't deny that. So it's a bam. Matt thought it was spam. Spam. Yeah. So, I mean, this won't be for everybody, but it was entertaining enough. Flourish. Man, I feel like I played that game a long time ago. But I guess they're just showing it at Essen for the first time. It's a card drafting, tableau building game of trying to create patterns in your garden. The drafting mechanic is a little weird where you're passing cards over the wall and then you get cards back, but you can keep passing the same cards back and forth if you really wanted to. But yeah, it works. The production is over the top to the point of annoying at times if you're going to play with the expansion, but you don't have to play with the expansion and then you don't have to make all those little mini figures. So Make It Happen is a team-based game where you have one team on this side, one team on that side. It is kind of luck of the draw card game, and it did not have much standing. We played it once, and that was pretty much enough. Where's her head? Her head is not about her head. It's about her outfit. Perfect shot. I tried the prototype. It is obviously the theme is great. You're taking a picture of these little animals. You have to kind of gauge where the holes on these cards line up, and you place the card down, and if you can capture the shot of the animal in the little hole, then you can gain points and everything. I thought it was super cute. I liked it quite a bit. But yeah, you gotta be able to spatially align these little holes in the card and where it might fall on the image that you're looking at. But it's cute. I thought they did a good job with it, and I'm glad I got to try it out. So hopefully I'll play that again soon. Dirty money. There isn't really a whole lot of money laundering, or at least there isn't as much as I thought there would be with the name money laundering in the title. So it's more, yeah. Oh, look, I wrote decent game with some interesting choices. Definitely not enough money laundering when it is legit in the title. Michael says this was just bad. Thanks for those biddies, Shano. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was fine. It's not a game that I would ever remember or want to play again. So there's that. Three Little Wolves. I have on my couch ready to show you any day now. Super cute. Set collection where you're trying to build up these three little pigs. They have their different houses, so you're trying to build up these houses, but the big bad pig is coming and you're trying to protect your wolves and gain points from your wolves. When you play with two players, you have a dummy third player, which worked okay. I do think it will be better with more players, so I would like to try it again with more players in the future. But I liked it. I thought it was super cute. Obviously, it's designed by Smooks, which is great. I love Smooks, and he's always so appreciative. But it's just I thought it was really cute. It was better than I was expecting it would be, which is great because I wanted to love it anyway. Michael didn't love it as much as I liked it. I liked it, and we'll play it again, and maybe you'll like it better. I do think it will be better with 4 players, so maybe we play it again during fun group. We play with 4 players. I liked it more than him. Pick it up. Pick it up. You run around the house and you pick up things that match your color or your letter or whatever. The biggest problem with this game is that you have a set collection of cards, so you're always going to see the same cards every game. So if you know exactly where a V item is, you could just run and grab that V item. Or if you know exactly where a purple smooth object is, you can go and grab your purple pillow in the other room or something. So you know where things are if you play it a lot in the same location, or you can't really play it if you're in a static location like a board game club where there's just one room without anything in it. So you kind of have to just play it infrequently. But in any case, we had fun playing it. It's funny to run around the house and just grab items, and you're like, "What are you doing? Why are you taking my pillow in here? That's my pillow." Like, yeah, Michael says not having enough card variety. They could have fixed this by having card pairs. I mean, it was cute though. I had fun playing it. Tatsu, I played I played the prototype of it. It's super weird trick taking where you have your partner across the table from you and you're trying to capture spirits. It's weird because basically if you win the trick, you get to control how cards are being played from other players' hands. So when you play a card, you're actually saying to your opponent, you have to play that card. And you don't know what the card is, but you have to tell them based on the back of the card what they're doing. And then they play that card and then they tell the next player. And so then you're trying to like manipulate your hand. I don't, it's weird. It's a weird game. Definitely one that I would play again just because it is weird. Yes, Tatsu seems potentially interesting. It is definitely interesting and definitely one I would play again. So you like weird. I like weird too. I played it a couple times in a row and I'm like, what is happening? So like you can make them play one of their red cards and then they have to decide of their red cards what to play. And so oh man, you're trying to like it's difficult. It's definitely difficult. Yeah, nobody's gonna play that with you, Bree. Mountains Out of Molehills was a perfectly cromulent game, as Dan would say, as was cromulent. Uh, it's it's different. It has a programming mechanic, but it doesn't. So you have to program your moles to move around the board, and other moles might get in your way in the meantime. And you're trying to create these different towers above these molehills above board. So it's definitely different and interesting. Whether or not it's not a game that's going to get played a whole lot though. So but I would play it again for sure. I mean, it's fine. It's good. Yeah. Top 10 quiz. We actually played it this weekend and it wasn't it's not really a quiz. It's like it's exactly Family Feud. Exactly Family Feud. Um Top 10 Harry Potter characters that are mentioned in the books. So the 10 most mentioned characters in Harry Potter. Go. I thought for sure, Laura, if you're out there still, she was my teammate. Thought for sure she could get 6 of the most named characters in Harry Potter. She couldn't do it. I was like, oh my God, why didn't I get this? I could have named like everybody. But I'm a pretty big Harry Potter fan. Survey says. Exactly. Survey says. Hermione, Ron, who else? I'm 100% certain this is legally distinct from Family Feud. Uh, it's called Top 10 Quiz, so it's not called Family Feud. But you have the 10 answers. The top 10 quiz. Okay. Yeah. But it plays exactly like the same as Family Feud. Almost exactly the same. It's not Family Feud, but it's almost. It's like you'd like to know which one is best. I don't know what. It's not top 10, which is a different game and totally different game. This is top 10 quiz. So yeah. And of course, the rules aren't perfect. So, like Michael's saying, do you need a first name and a last name, or do we know that when you say Harry, it means Harry Potter? Like, is Dumbledore enough, or do you need Albus Dumbledore? Like, where do you draw the line on how correct you are with the answers for top 10? In any case, it was cute. I didn't mind playing it. I would definitely want to play it again. I like the challenge of trying to figure out top 10, but then you also can realize how, you know, I'm not good when I get put on the spot, so I won't perform well in this game, if you will. I'm not good with like countries and knowing like top 10 countries that sell Coca-Cola or something. I don't know. I wouldn't be good at things like that. Like I'm not, that was just a random thing. But like I don't know. I'm not good at knowing things. But if I'm on a team, then I can help the team, and maybe the team, other members of the team will just do better at it for me, and then I'll be fine. But if it's like 2-on-2 and I have to answer everything myself, I'm like, oh my god, what do I do? The anxiety of not knowing things is like, oh my god. So yeah, it's a cute party game anyway. So the next one on the list is Moonleap. Oh my god, Dan, did you know that they were remaking Numerai? I didn't know that they were remaking Numerai. And in any case, I love Numerai. We actually played it once on stream. It was during our like quick stream where we just played a whole bunch of really fast games during the stream. And Numerai is such a great game. I always have fun with it. It's fun. And so now they made these little like moon leaping frogs or something. And now that's a theme, I guess. But I would definitely pick up a different edition of Numerai. But yeah, it's fun. It's cute. I like it. Moonrai, obviously. Should be, yeah. Soulmates, not great. It was fine. We played as 2-player. Maybe it'll be better with more, but probably not. It's a game I just don't think I can recommend to anybody. So yeah. Easy come, easy go. That's how we live. Oh, take it all. All right, whatever. It's fine. This game is very forgettable because it's a game that I played long ago, and apparently I played it, and I'm like, oh, what Reiner Knizia game is this? Re-implementing, and it's called Easy Come Easy Go. Like I had no idea. I forgot, and then I saw the cover. I'm like, oh yeah, that game that I played. Apparently, I liked it. Don't remember it at all. So I guess it's very forgettable. But they rethemed it. They redid it. Maybe it will be great. I would play it again, obviously. So, yeah. It's one of those, I don't know. It's up in the air. We haven't played it yet. I thought we might have played it by now, but we didn't. 3 Dragon Ante Legendary Edition Giants. Whoa. I have it. It's to be played, hopefully in the near future. I really like 3 Dragon Ante, so we'll see what this one has to offer. Yay, we did it! I got through all of the games that I've played and or have access to that I will be playing really, really soon. That is the Essen list, 102 titles. And yeah. That was just the first of 2 videos. So the next one I have like to cover 165 games, but that will be a lot quicker because I don't have anything really to say about them. That just stuff that I'm interested in. This was the longer one because I have actually played all of these games and I have a lot more to say about them. So hopefully you enjoyed this video and hopefully it was informative for you for the games being presented at Essen Spiel 2022. Again, I'm Steph Hodge, and if you like my stuff, hopefully you click like either on the Twitch channel or on the YouTube channel. Thanks for hanging out with me as I discussed all the games. Probably Tiletum. Tiletum. I don't know how to say it properly, but that game gets your love because I think that will be my game of the year. It'll be hard to pass. I'm just saying. We're already September, almost October. It's a great game. And I love Wonderland's War. That's almost right. That's right there with it. Teletum is like right here, though. So hopefully you have a great Essen if you're going. Hopefully all these games will be available in the U.S. or wherever you're located so that you also can love them too. And I will be right back.